Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of my Dev Diary, a series where I go through what I've been making and all up through the releases of my games I'm doing and so forth. And this is episode 2. It's been a while since my last episode. A lot's happened since then. I've become a father again and work is busy as always, and the channel's doing great, so big thank you for everyone for subscribing to me thus far. So last time we met talking about what I've been doing, I started work on a project called Project Fire. At the moment, that project is on pause whilst I'm working on this project, and if you can't tell because of the big title bouncing in front of you, it is Blobb. So Blobb, for those who don't already know, is a mobile puzzle game that I released back in 2015. And it came out on iOS and Android. It's a puzzle game. I'll go through it and show you in a minute. But it's a puzzle game, and it done quite well critically. Like, a lot of people liked it, but it didn't get the commercial buzz that I needed, or breakthrough hit that I wanted it to be, or felt that it could be. That's the difference here. Is that always felt that Blobb was a success waiting to happen. The idea was solid. The character was fine. I think it just needed to be recognised and found. So Blobb was actually taken off the storefronts a while back because I wasn't supporting it anymore, and the app stores changed some of their policies, which involved me having to go back and fix a few things for the app store to take it. So back in December, I was sitting down thinking, you know what? I've got a game. I've got Blobb just sitting there, not making any money, not released. Why not just fix it quickly and put it back out? So that's what I did. I thought, let's download it and open up the project files again, fix those niggling things ready for the App Store, and re-upload it. However, I wanted to change a few things, and that kind of just quickly snowballed into a lot more work than I originally intended. So, for example, the first thing I wanted to do was change its business strategy, so monetization of it. The original Blobb was totally free, except that you could pay to unlock more levels. Okay, so it was a one-time purchase that you paid to unlock levels. This time I wanted to put in more. I had to think about it a bit more this time and use a bit of hindsight, use the market to my advantage, and so it's now got advertisements in there along with microtransactions. And purchase of microtransactions will actually remove the adverts for the player. Well, that's the intention anyway. So that's changed, and along with that, some of the structure of the game has changed too. And I took the opportunity to change a lot of that, the structure and layout of the levels and what's happening in there. And basically, one thing led to another, and the game's basically been rewritten from scratch, which not ideal, but it does allow me to do a lot more cool things. So I can make more traps, I can make more puzzles, all because of the way I programmed it. So let's just walk you through Blobb here. So I'm playing it on the PC at the moment. It's made in Game Maker Studio 2, if you're wondering. So here is the world screen of World 1, and here's Blobb, and I can navigate around the world. So let's show you level 1 first of all, so you can get an idea of what the game is. So the idea behind Blobb is that once he starts moving, he can't change direction until he hits something solid and stops moving. So, for example, I can slide, hit that block, and slide up to start, and that's what he's doing. Return to the world. So that was level 1, obviously very easy. He's meant to teach players that fact. And as we go on, level 2 opens up a bit more. Still, there's only one route through it, but the player hasn't got those safety nets that we had previously. Okay. Scoring's new as well. That's a new feature. But we're going through levels here. Do a little let's play on it. And this one's got a bit more choice in it. But as always, there's only one route through. So these first levels are quite basic. They only have simple standard blocks, but they're all types of traps. If you want to see all these traps in action, head over to the original Blobb's trailer, and you can see a lot of them in action there. I'll be doing another video on this in the future, so you can see all the traps in action. I'll be able to show you all of them. Yeah, that's it. So I'll show you one trap we've got in here. Let's go up this way. So at the start of the game, you get introduced to the spike trap nice and early, which is this thing here. So the spike trap does what you think it does. It will kill you. Okay. So let's talk about some of the changes I've made between this and the original Blobb. So the original Blobb, I said the monetization is different this time around. So we've got hearts and we've got gems. Hearts are your lives to get into levels. So to get into a level costs 1 heart. However, if you can beat that level perfectly, so without taking any damage whatsoever, you get that heart back. Okay, so if you're really good, you can play indefinitely. Otherwise, if you lose a heart, let's just demonstrate that. If you lose a heart, you can see it's starting counting down now. You have to wait currently 5 minutes before it returns. If you want to shortcut that, you can refill your hearts by spending gems or watching a video. Okay, so advert. So giving players that choice what they want to do. Gems can be earned in game through various means, especially in the daily mode, as well as these bonus modes, which you can see here. These little sparkles here. These are randomly generated across the map. So if you beat one of these ones, you get a gem. Gems, you click on these and you can purchase gems. Numbers aren't final, they will change. These are just placeholder for the time being. So everything here will change. So the timer may change, the amount of hearts you start off with change, so on and so forth. So obviously this is still in development, so be aware things will change. But we can click on these and get gems from the storefronts. Also, what's different is the world screen. So the world screen now is an actual world. Previously it was just a grid that you tapped on which level you want to go into. But now you've got an actual progression throughout the world, as well as some branching paths, like this one here, into hard levels. So hard levels are not only just harder levels, but also everything does twice the damage. So if you fell off the map, you lose twice as much damage. Okay. And so on and so forth. Okay. So they are difficult. Test your reflexes and your cognitive abilities. But with enough skill, you can beat the hard levels. And it goes on and on and on. What else we got in here? So we got the menu, which is currently in development. I've got music, which turns off and on. A grid, which will show and hide a grid that will help players that need a bit of assistance with lining things up. They can't visualise the lines and where Blobb will go. That will turn that on. Obviously, special effects here. The world select is currently in development. This is temporary. It's not going to be like this. It's going to be different. There will be 4 worlds at the start of the game, at the launch. So you've got Summer Glades, Glitter Mines, Diamond Peaks, and I can't remember what I called the 4th one. The 4th one's like a castle. And yeah, and that's that. So there we go. And that's basically Blobb, really, in a nutshell. There is a daily mode, which isn't in the game yet. The world's been made and the idea behind it's been done. It's just needs to be coded. And so dailies are a random set of 20 levels. And every 5 levels you can exit and cash in what you've collected so far. If you die and lose halfway through a set of 5, you'll lose everything you've got. So you can choose to gamble it or carry on as you want. But with the daily mode, you only have 1 life bar. So if you lose half your health in the first level, in the second level you only have half of your health left. So that's quite an important detail. So and it will choose random levels based around the world, the worlds in the game. So yeah, it would be quite interesting to see people compete in that, because there'd be leaderboards and achievements and so forth related to that stuff too. But this is where we're currently at. So we've got a few things left to do and figure out, but we are getting there. So if you want to be part of the beta, it is going into hopefully beta. Oh, let me show you the power-ups. So I haven't done power-ups. So here's the bubble. So put a bubble around Blobb, and if it's a spike, bubble pops and protects him for 1 death. Okay, so that's what the bubble does. If I go back and show you the other ones. So that's the bubble. Then you've got frost. So the frost one will freeze any blocks that are timer based. So these spikes, for example, are timer based. So if they're frozen, they are a lot slower, making it a lot easier for you to get past things. And that goes for like the blasters, lasers, all sorts of things like that. Makes it a bit easier to time your movements around. Okay. Oh, let's beat this level. Da, da, da. So that's that. And the last power up, go back into that same level, is damage reduction. And there's no fancy animation yet, but this will turn your health bar red, and basically you take less damage. So you only lose a little bit rather than a lot, which could be quite useful for trying to get that 3rd star if you're having trouble getting that 3rd star. But yeah, so as I was saying, if you want to get into the beta, head over to patreon.com/RyanDaily. All my Patreons will get access to the beta at the end of the month. That's the plan anyway, end of the month, and hopefully be releasing in early March. Please leave comments below. Be interested to hear what you guys think. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting this game out. I love making Blobb, and I can't wait to see and show him more off of him in the future. As I said, I'll be making another video of these down the line too. If you want to see the second part of this episode, head over to Patreon to support me there, because the second part is exclusive just to my Patreon supporters. And in that episode, we'll be going behind the scenes in Game Maker Studio 2 and showing off how things are done, and being a bit more candid about what's going on behind the scenes. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you all guys soon. Bye bye.